Your Royal Highness, Prince Turki, Highnesses, Excellencies, Your Excellency, Dr. Abdullah Al-Maghlouth, Assistant Minister of Media, esteemed ambassadors and members of the diplomatic corps to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, media leaders, and fellow journalists. It is a great privilege to be speaking in front of you tonight. And it is an absolute honor for Arab News to be honored by the diplomatic corps on the occasion of its 50th anniversary. As we have heard repeatedly so far this evening, diplomacy and journalism, although are very different professions, have and always will be intertwined, and very similar in many ways. Having said that, there are few people who understand how to align both worlds, and among them is definitely our host for the evening, the Dean of Diplomatic Corps, Diaba Makhrama, who through his personal touch, deep political understanding, and media savviness, has truly redefined the term ambassador extraordinaire. Dia, you are not only a great representative and an advocate for your country, but I can personally testify as to how much you support, empower, and open doors, not just for your colleagues, the fellow ambassadors, but to many journalists as well. I first met Dia back in 2020. I remember very well, we had originally planned to celebrate this occasion on the occasion of the 45th anniversary of Arab News, and naturally, we had to cancel our plans due to the coronavirus pandemic. As such, we had placed all our time, energy, and resources to launch a digital French edition. Naturally, we wanted to create hype around this new edition, and so the idea was to invite His Excellency the President of Djibouti to be the keynote speaker during the virtual launch event. Now, we knew it was ambitious, but at Arab News, we have a philosophy. And that philosophy is you always miss 100% of the shots that you don't take. And if you don't ask, you don't get. Well, it took only one meeting with Ambassador Dia, and while I was not sure if our request was going to be accepted, what was most definite is that I had just met a gentleman and a scholar, and an acquaintance that I'm proud to say has turned into a great friend. Days later, Dia had come back to us with a positive response from the presidential palace. I thanked the ambassador wholeheartedly for what would be a great promotional boost for Arab News en français. And like a true diplomat, he responded, "No, Faisal, thank you for giving us an opportunity to promote our country." This is why I say we journalists and diplomats, in many ways, are two sides of the same coin. We too, as journalists, have a duty towards our countries, albeit we do it by reporting facts, battling misinformation, highlighting achievements, and pointing out to mishaps. And perhaps nobody knows this better than our guest of honor and keynote speaker for this evening, His Royal Highness Prince Turki Al Faisal, who helped in the establishment of Arab News as Saudi Arabia's first English language newspaper back in 1975, with permission and direction of His late Majesty King Faisal, may God rest his soul. And one must admit, what a great vision His late Majesty must have had to foresee back then how important it was for us to communicate with others in their own language. I will leave it to His Royal Highness to tell the story in detail, but I will say this. Perhaps the lesson learned of the direction of our late King, the persistence of His Royal Highness and our founders, is that rather than continuously highlighting that the rest of the world does not understand our point of view, it is far better to light a candle than to curse the darkness. And we at Arab News was and will always be that candle. And just like our commitment to enlightenment has been rock solid for the past 50 years, we pledge to remain honest to our values for the next 50. And this, ladies and gentlemen, was the inspiration for the gift items you have on your tables as a souvenir of this very special occasion. Please don't open them now because the sound will be very disturbing. Now, Noor. Despite her many virtues, she insists to remind me how old I'm getting and how quickly time's passed since I started this job on, you got it right actually, 27 September 2016. As I enter my 10th year as editor-in-chief, I pledge to keep carrying the responsibility of building on the fantastic achievements of all my honorable predecessors, the editors-in-chief who came before me, and thank them for their contribution that helped bring Arab News to where it is today. I, of course, would like to thank our senior management, represented tonight by Saleh Dwais, our Chief Operating Officer. Our CEO, Jumana Al-Rashid, sends her regrets as she has been summoned to an important meeting, so she couldn't be with us. As well as, and last but not least, I would also like to thank our founders, the late Hisham Ali Hafid and Muhammad Ali Hafid. Mr. Muhammad Hafid couldn't be with us tonight, but we are delighted that he has delegated renowned economist and proudly say Arab News columnist Talat Hafid to represent the family this evening on this very special occasion. Tonight, I want to also commend the important role you do as diplomats. Your Excellencies, the job of a newspaper editor is to report on bad news. That is the nature of the beast. And it's really painful that looking back over the past 5 decades, estimates show that only between 33 and 40% of global armed conflicts have been resolved through diplomacy, peace deals, and negotiations. Without counting the final numbers of the victims of the horrific genocide that is happening currently in Gaza, an estimated 6 to 8 million people, both combatants and civilians, have died as a result of state-based conflicts, non-state-based conflicts, and one-sided violence. As per the UN, the number of forcibly displaced people at the end of 2024 reached a staggering 123 million people. There are estimates that show that wars have cost humanity $15 to $20 trillion over the past 5 decades. We can spend the whole evening calculating indirect costs, loss of opportunity and growth, impact on neighboring countries, and many indirect but other devastating consequences. As a journalist, I can only ask, what if? And I invite you to join me in asking, what if? What if we as a humanity had taken a different path? What if we given peace a chance? While we might not be able to change the past, we can certainly do our best to shape the future. This is why I say that the work you do as diplomats couldn't be any more important. So hats off to you, and may all your efforts be fruitful no matter how difficult it seems. This is also why I could not be any prouder of being a Saudi. And given that our guest of honor is His Royal Highness Prince Turki, I would like to remind our esteemed audience of one of the most statements of the late King Faisal, may God rest his soul, who said in 1975 that Saudi Arabia will be a torch of light for humanity in the next 50 years. And as we are today witnessing unimaginable structural reforms taking place, reforms which have helped the kingdom diversify its economy. And we have seen non-oil revenues exceed oil revenues for the first time. We have seen our ever-expanding and enhanced service to pilgrims during the Hajj every year. Women empowerment and engagement exceeding 36% of the workforce, which, by the way, was the target for the year 2030. We are also seeing a boom in tourism, culture, and entertainment, where the Ministry of Tourism has also achieved its target of 100 million tourists ahead of time. Equally important, though, we are seeing the kingdom use its religious, political, and economical might to help broker and negotiate deals all the way from Sudan, India, Pakistan, Ukraine, and Russia, and successfully lifting sanctions on the Syrian people. Last but not least, we've seen the recently successful two-state solution meeting held in New York, co-chaired between Saudi Arabia and France, in a bid to get the whole world to recognize a Palestinian state and correct a historical wrong. What I'm trying to say is the future can be bright, and we look forward to reporting on more of your diplomatic successes, both in your countries and ours. Now, before I leave you, you really didn't think you were going to come to an Arab News event and leave without an exclusive. Stand by for some breaking news.
Artificial intelligence. Many have warned us against it. Many have said that it will take away our jobs, Others argue it will create new and unimaginable horizons. The reality is, like any technology, it is both an opportunity and a threat, and it will impact all industries, including us in the newspaper business. Here at Arab News, we have been at the forefront of technology since our establishment in 1975. We have gone from the mechanical printing press to desktop publishing, and from a mere website in the year 2000 to AI-generated podcasts in 2025. And so, to mark our 50th anniversary, we are proud to announce that Arab News will be available in 50 languages in collaboration with our friends at Camp.ai, another regional success story that has gone global.
通过 Camp.ai 尖端的人工智能本地化和翻译工具，您很快就可以选择用你想要的语言阅读我们的内容。Tal como me ven ahora entregando este mensaje en múltiples idiomas, nuestra nueva función garantizará que la traducción sea precisa y refleje el tono, los modismos y los matices culturales. इसका मतलब है कि हमारी खबरें विचार और विश्लेषण 6.5 अरब से अधिक लोगों तक पहुंचने वाले हैं, जो दुनिया की 80% से भी ज्यादा आबादी है। Cela vient de notre conviction. On ne peut pas être la voix d'une région en mutation sans accepter de changer nous-mêmes.
You've heard it here first, but stay tuned for our official announcement on October 22nd at the FIPP World Media Congress in Madrid, where Arab News will demonstrate what it means when we say in Arabic that طموحنا عنان السماء.
صاحب السمو الملكي، ضيوفنا الكرام، معالي مساعد وزير الإعلام، قبل 50 عاماً وفي عهد المرحوم جلالة الملك فيصل وضع حجر الأساس لتكون عرب نيوز أول صحيفة سعودية ناطقة باللغة الإنجليزية. اليوم وفي عيدها ال50 تعلن عرب نيوز بأنها ستكون صوتاً للسعودية وللمنطقة ب50 لغة، لتصل بذلك 6.5 مليار شخص أو أكثر من 80% من سكان العالم. شكراً لكم صاحب السمو، شكراً لكم سعادة السفير ضياء، شكراً لكم معالي مساعد وزير الإعلام الدكتور عبد الله المغلوث، شكراً لإدارة المجموعة السعودية للأبحاث والإعلام، شكراً لكم أيها الحضور الكريم، وأخيراً وليس آخراً، شكراً لفريق عرب نيوز، سواء الحاضرين معنا الليلة أو المتواجدين حول العالم. أنا محظوظ بكم، وكلنا فخر بكل كلمة حق تكتبوها. تصبحون على ألف خير.